Hello everybody. Good evening or good afternoon wherever you're at. Najumu here and welcome back to IWAKURA ARIA. So, slight recap on what happened last week. Ichiko, who is the recently hired maid at the IWAKURA household, has all of a sudden noticed that Aria, the daughter of the house owner, Amane, is deathly sick for some reason. Like, she was pale. It looked like the blood is drained from her entire body, and it almost looked like she's comatose. But fortunately, it turns out that she's alive. But there is something odd that has been lingering in Ichiko's mind. And it also involves Amane, because there was a scene where Amane offered something to someone that's related to his daughter. And then there is this Dutch official who managed to come by the Iwakura household. What is he doing? What are they doing? What is Amane's ambition? And what is he doing with his daughter? Ichiko doesn't know, and we don't know either. Maybe we might find an answer tonight. Who knows? But it's getting a little creepy, to say the least. Yeah, I'm getting slightly disturbed. But we shall see. We shall see how things go. With that said, we have Rayquaza in the chat. Hello. Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Yes. The sun began to rise, and thus it was the start of a new day. Standing in front of that mirror again, I no longer felt the fear I once did. Discovering a scene like that really knocked me for a loop, but I needed to remember they're incredibly rich. Maybe it's just a precaution in case they had a home invader or something. If Mr. Amane had something that he was really trying to keep hidden, you'd think he'd be more vigilant. I'm doing good, tired as usual, but we'll keep on trucking, you know. At this point, thinking about what might have happened to me if I really run away is more terrifying. Probably not. Probably not. He might get mad or something. I'm going to be studying, but I'll have the stream up. All right, good luck with your studies, Rayquaza. You got this, I believe. I think the wise choice would be to just keep quiet for now. If I can pretend that I don't know, then I should never have to worry about it. As long as I don't tell them, I can act like I've never seen anything. If I don't tell anyone, not even Miss Aria, then... Hello, Pearl! Alright, happy lurking. Uh-oh. Midsummer Garden. Aria, who had been resting in her room all day, probably because she was worn out from yesterday, said this as she looked out of the window. I just need to pretend that I don't know anything about both the room and the medication. If I just pretend that nothing happened, then surely we will enjoy a nice, beautiful summer. Famous last words, Ichiko? Famous last words? Who knows?
Ichiko.
Just one moment. There we go. Aria suddenly turned to face me, and just as quickly I looked away from her. That medicine. I glanced over at the door to the dressing room, and in that moment, all of those awful feelings from that night began bubbling up in my stomach. Come on, stupid Ichiko. I need to get my act together.
そろそろお休みになりますか? そうね。今日は一日横になっていたから、まだ眠れそうにないけれど。体がほぐれたら、また眠気が来るかもしれないわ。いちこ、来て。少し足を触ってみてほしいの。昨日ずっと立っていたから、ふくらはぎが張っているみたい。
Standing all day? Why, though?
どうすればいいかわかりません。なんだっていいわ。やってみて。
Well, that's strange, but sure, okay. Aria then moved over to the edge of the bed and let her legs hang down. Still very confused, I kneeled down in front of her. Uh-oh.
痛いですか? いいえ、続けて。
Her thin white legs felt like they would snap if I applied too much pressure. Yeah, it does seem like she is, well, very, very sickly, to say the least. Her skin was smooth, cold, and soft to the touch. She's never asked me to do something like this before, so why now? Just touching her like this felt so good that I thought my brain was going to melt. That sensation was so extremely unpleasant that I just can't accept it. She should just have some guy do this for her. I mean, it'd be even weirder, you know? The heat burning inside me slowly crept up into my chest, spreading all the way into my heart. I hate this. It hurts. I'm hot. It just feels so weird. Makes me sick. Man, look at this art. This art is so good. Man, like, I mean, like, the usual portraits of the characters are good as well, but for these special cutscenes, this sketchy style art looks very, very nice. And the shading as well. I can feel Aria's gaze looking down at me. But I never looked back up at her. Not until she told me that she had enough. Nice heart, yeah. Oh, there he is.
いちこくんのものだ。私たちには使い道がないからね。遠慮せず好きに使ってくれたまえ。
3 days have passed since that night. Once the morning rain stopped, the sky began to clear up, and the sun finally came back out. Sus man, yeah, Amane is very, very suspect. Brand new art supplies that came in boxes of all shapes and sizes were piled up on the table in the guest room.
これ日本製？
そうなんだ。一応手配していたフランス製のものもあっちに置いてはあるのだけれどね。ちょうどいちこくんがこの屋敷にやってきた週だったかな。イギリスのボーカルグループが来日して日本中がえらく盛り上がっていたんだけれど、彼らが銀座にある画材店の絵の具や筆を使ってホテルで絵を描いたそうでね。すごく話題になっていたんだ。彼らが使ったのは水彩絵の具の一種のようだけれど、そこは油絵の具の質も素晴らしいというから新たに揃えてもらうことにしたんだよ。
わざわざ揃え直してくださったんですか？
You know, I feel like the music is a little bit louder than the voices. So let me try to... Wait, where's the... where's the audio music volume? Just lower the music a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that should be better. Oh, no. No, we don't want to close the game. Yeah. We can go back. Okay.
ああ、その話を聞いたら私も興味が湧いてね。アリアにも一番いいものをと言われていたから。
Brand new paints, brushes, palettes, all prepared just for me. Just looking at the boxes made my heart skip a beat. Yep, that's better for sure. Okay, thank you, Pearl. I just hope I will be able to use all of this properly. This is my first time working with oils, and they got me such incredible supplies.
お父様、これは何？
油壺だったかな。
油壺。
Oil container? That's for oil
心配
painting.
ないよ。
Yeah.
本も用意しておいたから。
油絵を始める人のために。
役に立つといいのだけれど。
ねえ、いちこ。何か書きたいものはあるの？書きたいもの。そうですね。人を描くのは難しいだろうなって。まだそれくらいしか。だったら、まずは花や風景かしら。
Yeah, that's something that you can initially start with.
きっともう梅雨明けよ。明日晴れていたら庭に出てモチーフを探すのはどう？
それはいい考えだ。ただしアリアも一緒なら日差しには十分気をつけるんだよ。
お父様ったら分かってるわ。夏は初めてじゃないのよ。
そうだね。だけれど一応は言っておかないと。
I guess I'll be walking around with Miss Aria. It's not like I hate her now or anything like that. But ever since then, I can't seem to look her in the eye anymore. I don't want to look, so my eyes just reflexively look away now. And here I was waiting and waiting for the rainy season to end. This is kind of depressing.
やっぱり昨日で雨は終わりだったようね。これでやっと外に出られるわ。
Arya squints her eyes in total satisfaction as the light pierces through the glass window. I guess the rainy season really has ended. so childish of me to keep thinking about something like that. I know that I just need to get over it already. I know. I get it, but...
まだ地面が湿ってるかも。平気ですか？ええ。転ばないように気をつければ問題ないわ。
I mean, Ichigo's gonna be with her too, you know.
そうですか。イチコはもう出られる？
It's not like I could just shake my head when she asked me that. I reluctantly nodded, and seeing that, Arya stepped out of the sunroom. Something was off about the direction we were heading. We were walking in the total opposite direction of the garden.
お嬢様、どちらへ？日傘を取りに行くの。でしたら私が。ええ、イチコも来て。少し待たせることになるから。
Eh? Need me to wait? I wonder what she's doing in there. She told me to wait in the dressing room. While I've been here for about 10 minutes already, there was still no sign of Arya. Cleaning helps keep me distracted, but just sitting around like this makes me start to feel uneasy. It's all because Arya's in the same place as that stupid medicine. I wonder if she opened the box. Will I never feel better about all this if I keep pretending that I don't know anything? If I could just get myself to believe with all my heart that it has nothing to do with me, maybe then it won't be such a big deal anymore. Still, why do I feel betrayed? Was it because I convinced myself that she was pure and clean? What in the world was I expecting of her, when she's nothing more than my employer's daughter? Besides, I am...
Ichiko, どう？似合うかしら？
Oh, that's a pretty looking dress. What in the world was I expecting? Her skirt swayed ever so slightly. Her sweet beauty was enough to take your breath away.
このワンピース、前から着てみたいと思っていたの。見て、刺繍が素敵でしょ？はい、とても。
She must be kidding, as if something wouldn't suit her. I had no idea green could be such a beautiful color. The elegant colors and designs are a perfect match for a crystal light clear skin and shiny black hair. I felt so superficial for getting so easily distracted by all the other beautiful decorations every time I walked into the dressing room.
でも、見て、まだ背中のファスナーが閉まっていないの。お願いできる？
Better be careful doing that. After saying this, she diffidently began to turn her back towards me and leaned forward a bit. The opening in the fabric left by the unfastened zipper revealed her pale skin. Why? Why is she so beautiful? Her dainty backbone was faintly visible. She had a small mole on her right shoulder. Just looking at her like this, I could feel an intense heat rising up from my throat. My face is burning up. I feel so dizzy.
Ichiko?
Okay, Ichigo, you need to chill.
私の背中に何かある？え？自分では見られないから、言葉を失うくらいひどいのかと思って。傷？あざか何か？違う。いいえ、そんな。
Oh my, these are some choices. Your backbone is so beautiful, your mole is so cute. How can a mole be cute? And how can a backbone be beautiful? I mean, it could be a nicely structured backbone, so maybe you could say that, but the mole? Nah, we'll go for the backbone.
背骨が綺麗でつい見とれてしまって。背骨？うっすら浮き出て見えるんです。細くてまっすぐで凹凸まで整ってる。いちこの指、温かい。ごめんなさい、私触るつもりじゃ。いいの。背骨を褒められたのは初めてよ。いちこが褒めてくれたから、これからは自信を持てるわ。
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that complimenting spines is very, very rare in real life as well. So you don't need to worry about that.
ファスナーあげますね。お願い。ああ、なるほど。ファスナーを隠すように飾りボタンがついてるんだ。すごく凝ったデザインですね。一人で来たら2時間はかかりそうでしょ。本当に私だったらボタンに指すら届かないかも。できました。あとは寄っている生地を少し直して。ありがとう。鏡を見てもいい？
As I nodded, she walked over to the mirror. She then started gently swinging her hips from side to side. Her dress gracefully flowed along as she moved.
みんな、私には白が似合うって。
I don't know about backbones, but moles in East Asian culture depends on where it is, might signify your fortune or things like that. Oh, actually, I did not know that. No, seriously, I didn't know that. I may need to look up that a bit more, but thanks for telling me, Pearl. So moles have... can be read in different ways in East Asia.
でも、本当は緑が好きなの。
I mean, it does look good on you, honestly. I could see her smiling at me through the mirror. Her cute yet sexy expression quickly brought me back to reality. Interesting choice of words. I wonder how many people have seen Miss Aria smile like this before. With that thought in mind, I could feel the pain from my stomach starting to burn up again. Oh no. The door, the trap, the hidden door, and the medicine again. The sun was beaming down into the garden today, having chased away the rain from yesterday. The ground hasn't quite fully dried out yet, and the air was quite moist and humid. The parasol must be pretty heavy. Seeing her like this reminds me of just how tall she is. Aria had her arms fully stretched in an attempt to prevent her from getting sunburned, but gradually began to drop them down a bit. I think walking around with that heavy parasol may have been more grueling than she initially thought. It was kind of based on a pseudoscience called physiognomy. Oh my god, I'm trying to read this. Physiognomy. Yeah, physiognomy. Okay. You might see it in classic Chinese texts, like a good gentleman must have a certain kind of beard style. Aha! Man, it took a while in order to pronounce that, but there's a whole science about it. Well, pseudoscience. I would offer to carry it for her, but then I had to stand.
いちこ、なんだか落ち着かないみたいね。虫にでも刺された？そういうことなら言ってちょうだい。いいえ、そういうわけでは。
Arya seemed perplexed as I flashed her a wry little smile and turned away from her to face forward. Feel like we've walked enough. I don't know how much further she plans on going. How far back does this garden go anyway? Ah, it's the grumpy gardener. As I aimlessly look around the massive garden, I spotted the gardener again. He was looking over at me.
お嬢様。何？あの庭師の人はいつからここで働いているんですか？庭師？どうして？いえ、ただ少し気になって、嫌われているのかたまに睨まれている気がするんです。それはきっと目つきが悪いからよ。彼のことは名前くらいしか知らないけれど、庭師として初めて会った時からずっとあんな顔をしてる。
Wow, okay. Maybe I don't need to worry so much? His eyes suddenly grew wide as he watched us stop to talk. Oh, he's coming over here. What's going on? Stand in front of Arya.
お嬢様。いちこ？
I hastily stepped in front of Arya, and the gardener marched right up to me and looked down at me with a menacing look in his eyes.
なんですか？
それじゃあ意味がない。
Hmm?
は？
アリア様の腕に日が当たっているのがわからないのか。日傘はちゃんと持て。やけどでもしたらどうする？
Burned? Still, when I turned around to look at her, I did notice Arya's arm was looking a little red.
大変。ごめんなさい。痛みますか？まさか、これくらい平気よ。皮膚が薄くて人より赤くなりやすいだけ。気にしないで。行きましょう。
Hmm?
日傘。お嬢様、腕、本当に平気なんですか？え？さっきのいちこ、かっこよかったわ。前に出て、私より大きく見えた。
Arya looked very happy as she smiled and pulled on my arm that was holding the parasol. After walking around the garden for a bit, we came upon some flowers in full bloom. Hold on there. So the sun can actually burn her. And there was medication, quote unquote medication. And there's signs of blood that's related to her. Is she a vampire? But are the Iwakuras vampires? Question mark? That would be something else. We go into like a supernatural territory. Who knows?
この花は？ダリアよ。天竺ボタン。ダリア、すごく綺麗ですね。鮮やかな色。大きくて存在感があって、花びら一枚一枚が生きてるみたい。この花、油絵で描いてみたいな。素敵。きっととっても華やかな絵になるわね。ちゃんと上手に描ければですけど、一輪だけを描くか引きで全体を描くか、どっちが魅力的だろう。一度写生帳に描いてみてもいいですか？ ちろん。
この辺りは地面も乾いていますし、風呂敷で平気そうですね。お嬢様はこちらに座っていてください。
いちこは？
全体を描いてみたいので、今は立ったままで。この位置がいいかな。
Let's see. The atmosphere is great, so I'm working with oils. It might be better to paint a single flower. I want to showcase what makes the flower itself so appealing, so I think it would probably make more sense to focus on the centerpiece of the painting first. As ideas flowed through my mind, I began to draw the blooming dahlias and beautiful scenery in my sketchbook. That's when suddenly, my eyes became fixated on an entrance that somehow blended into the scenery. What's that? A shed?
お嬢様、
何？
あの入り口は何の入り口ですか？
入り口？そこは防空壕よ。戦時中に掘られたものね。
防空壕。あ、そっか。このお屋敷は大正時代に建てられたものでしたね。大空襲で東京はどこも焼け野原になったって小さい頃よく聞かされたな。
Yep, these were tough times. But this whole place somehow managed to make it out totally unscathed. Rich people are so lucky. Ah, yes, in more ways than one.
どう？描けた？
あ、はい。花というより風景ですが。
描けたならいちこも座って。
結構です。私まで座ったら狭いですから。
いいじゃない、狭くたって。ほら早く隣に来て。
お、そんなに引っ張ったら。
She flashed a satisfied grin once I was firmly sitting eye level, and grabbed my wrists as she urged me to show her my sketchbook. Her long black hair danced in the gentle summer breeze. She smells just like she always does. It's a sweet scent that throws my heart into disarray, and one I've kept away from for days now.
どうしてかしら。いちこの描く絵って時々少し動いて見える気がする。空気まで描かれているみたいですごく不思議。これをこのまま油絵に起こすの？
いいえ。やっぱり花を大きく描いてみたいなって。一つのモチーフに集中した方が絵の具を使う練習にもなりそうな気がして。
そう。楽しみだわ。いちこのダリアはカンバスの上でどんな風に色づくのかしら。
With that said, Arya turned to face me. She looked at me so closely that our noses practically touched as I saw my reflection in her eyes. I can't breathe.
いちこ？
ごめんなさい。
なに？どうして謝るの？
だって。
あら、私はこっちよ。顔を見て話して、いちこ。
She gently brushed her fingers against my cheek as she teased me a little. Her cold fingertip felt really nice. No, this isn't right. I felt sick.
いちこ？
I instinctively turned my face as that strong sense of rejection came back with a vengeance. I don't want her to touching me like that, like I'm used to it.
ねえ。
やだ。 めてください。
いちこ、怒ってるの？どうして？
怒ってない。私は今みたいなそういうのが嫌なんです。私はお嬢様と違ってそういう経験が少ないから。
経験？それはどういう意味？
Hearing your thorny response, it dawned on me that I just said something incredibly judgmental. Oh boy, you sure did. But that's it. When something is said, there's no taking it back.
どういうこと？私がアバズレだとでも言いたいようだけれど。
そういう意味では。
だったらどういう意味なの？答えなさい、いちこ。
The tense atmosphere made me fearfully look up at her. That's when I noticed that, while everything she said was strongly worded, peering into her eyes, it looked like she was hurt. What should I do? What should I say?
いちこ。
It's no use. I can't just blurt out any lies when I look at her like that.
ごめんなさい。私見てしまったんです。お嬢様の薬箱。
Well, she said it.
薬箱？
子供ができないようにするための薬。
Uh-oh.
ああ、あの薬のこと。あれは確か引き出しの奥にしまっていたはずだけれど。
Uh-oh.
ごめんなさい。
まったく、一度追い出されそうになったのに、まだ懲りていなかったのね。
本当にすみません。でも人形のリボンが。
この後に及んで言い訳をするつもり？
いえ、ごめんなさい。
ああ、ひょっとして近頃妙によそよそしかったのもそのせいなの？あんなもの、今の今まで存在も忘れていたわ。あれはお父様に無理やり持たされたものなの。私が誰かとそうなると決めたら止められないだろうから、せめてこれだけでもって。過保護でしょ？
そうなんですか。じゃあ使ったことは？
いちこったらいつもそんなことばかり考えているの？
いえ、そういうわけでは。
Yes, it was in your mind.
いやらしいのはいちこの方じゃない。それなのに私のことは軽蔑するなんて信じられないわ。
違います。私はただお嬢様が。
ええ、私が何？
お嬢様がなんだか自分でもよくわからないんです。ただお嬢様が誰かとそういうことをしていると思うとすごく嫌な気持ちになって。そういう行為が悪いことじゃないのは分かってるんです。だけどどうしてもすごく嫌で。
That's called
自分で
being
もその気持ちを止められなくて。
That's called being smitten, Michiko. And these are feelings of jealousy once you think about that.
ごめんなさい。こんなこと言われる方が嫌ですよね。私本当に失礼なことばっかり。
どうかしら。私はそんなに嫌じゃないけれど。
え？
だって面白いもの。いちこみたいにまとまらないまま自分の気持ちを素直に話してくれる人なんて他にいないから。
そうですか。それっていいこと？
さあ、どうかしら。でもいいわ。いちこの動揺も理解はできるし、今回のことは許してあげる。だから もう邪推はしないで。男の人と接することに抵抗はないのよ。でも誰にもお客様以上の感情を抱いたことはない。魅力的な人もいるけれど興味は持てない。きっとこれからも持つことはないわ。
He said this as she looked up at the partly cloudy skies from beneath her parasol. If that's the case, she'll never be interested in men. What kind of person? I almost let the question that was building in my mind slip out, but instead just pretended that I understood what she meant. But there was a wave of excitement building in my heart as I secretly replayed her words in my head over and over again. The next day,
どんな風に色づくのかしらって、これ本当にどうなるの？
I had been on cloud 9 ever since then, but reality smacked me upside the head with a blank white canvas that I was facing for the first time.
なんか違う気がする。
The excitement I felt as they put the paints on my palette quickly changed into utter bewilderment when I started applying them over my charcoal sketch. The texture, the way the colors work is completely different from watercolors. I know it should be obvious, but if I don't treat this as something completely different from anything else I've done, it's going to drive me crazy. Looking at how deeply I colored the petals made me really miss watercolors and how they easily produce soft colors.
道具の使い方だけじゃなくて、書き方ももうちょっとちゃんと本を読まないと。
At this rate, I felt like I would never be able to create anything that Miss Aria would like. I did start feeling a little better once I realized if I don't like something I did, I can easily just wipe it clean or scrape the paint off and try again. It's much easier to recover from mistakes than I initially thought. I guess this is just one of the things I need to do to get better.
どうだい？絵の方はうまくいっているかな？
Well, hello there, Amane.
あれ、あまねさん？お客様はもうお帰りになったんですか？
いや、少し席を外してきたんだよ。今日のお客様はアリアを占い師のように思っている方でね。私がいると話しにくいこともあるようだったから。少し見ても？
はい。失敗して白く塗りつぶしたところですが。
なかなか難しいものなんだね。
すみません。こんなにいい道具を揃えてもらっているのに、ちゃんとものになるかどうか。
気が早いな。そう焦るものじゃないよ。一日やそこらで誰でも目を見張るものが欠けてしまうのなら、画家なんて職業は存在しないさ。大丈夫。まずは時間がかかっても、この絵を満足できるものに仕上げるんだ。そこまでやり遂げて初めて、これから油絵を描いていく準備が整うんじゃないかな。つまり、今はまだ失敗を重ねるべき時。そうやって基礎を固めていく時期なんだよ。
Amane flashed me a supportive smile. Feeling encouraged by his support and understanding, I breathed a sigh of relief. That's when... In the vermilion backlight, I began to sense this strange feeling of discomfort. What's going on? It's like Mr. Amane's smile is warped? Now that I think about it, I felt the same sense of discomfort numerous times before.
見てみるかい？
Before I could even ask what he meant, Amane leaned over to me. I was startled by him suddenly getting so close to me, and I just froze. But within just a matter of seconds, the true nature behind that strange feeling slowly began to make itself clear. When I looked closely, it's like one of his eyes wasn't moving. Oh yeah. Yeah, you notice that now that we got the close-up, you notice this eye over here is a little bit different. This one is much darker, and this is lighter. Also, both of his eyes aren't the same color. Yeah, they aren't the same color. Wow, okay.
どうだい？わかったかな？私は左目が義眼でね。
Ah, okay, it's a prosthetic.
すみません。そうとは思わずジロジロと。ごめんなさい。
いいんだよ。気づかれないことも多いのだけれど、何か不自然だったかな？
いえ、ただ疲れていらっしゃるのかと。まさか義眼だなんて近くで見ても全然。
そうか。今の言葉、義士に聞かせたらきっとすごく喜ぶよ。
Now that he mentioned it, there have been moments where it seemed like his left eye wasn't focused on what he was looking at. Even still, it does look like it moves the same as his right eye. That's amazing. I thought prosthetic eyes didn't ever move at all.
すみません、また。
よくできているだろう？
本当に。
左目は戦時中に負傷したんだ。今となっては芸術品を体の一部にしているようで、そんなに悪い気分ではないのだけれどね。片目が見えない不便はあるし、片頭痛が起こることも。
戦時中に。そうですか。何もかもが無事だったわけではないんですね。
というと？
昨日ちょうどお嬢様に防空壕のことを教えてもらったところだったんです。それでこのお屋敷は壊されずに済んだんだなって思ったばかりだったので。
アリアが防空壕の話を？
はい、花壇の隣に入り口が見えて。
なるほど。防空壕を作るための人員集めにも苦労したのを思い出すよ。戦争は本当に恐ろしい。人を変えてしまうんだ。あの恐怖や痛みはもう誰にも味わわせたくないな。
Mani scowled and stared off into the distance, as if he were recalling a terrible memory. Even when I closed my eyes, I could still see that striking look of his.
戦争か。
I was in elementary school back then. I remember back then people used to shower with me with pity for both being born poor and my terrible upbringing. It would make me angry, and I wish I was born earlier. I used to think that if I was around with everyone when we all experienced this great loss together, nobody would single me out and pity me for my life circumstances. That was so stupid. I thought it was better to witness hell on earth with everyone than to suffer on my own. But I was also so desperate. I thought about so many things, even when I was just a lonely child. But I was also so desperate. I thought about many things, even when I was just a lonely child. When I really stop and look back at my life, even just breathing is painful. Yeah, Ichiko had a rough life. But I somehow managed to survive in spite of that. And now, maybe because I finally have some peace of mind, I can look back at my life with some sense of composure.
それにしてもあの義眼本当に芸術品だった。全部ガラスでできてるのかな。
His prosthetic was a brighter color than his red eye. Or it has a glow similar to Miss Aria's.
あれ、よく考えたらどうして義眼なのに右目と一緒にしなかったんだろう。もともと左右の目で色が違ったのかな。
True?
となるとお嬢様の瞳の色は天音さんからの遺伝？それともお母様の？でもだとしたらやめよう。
I hated when people asked me about my parents or my upbringing more than anyone. Hated. Okay, we already read that. Even though I'm just sitting here thinking about how I felt back then, I found myself agonizing over it so much that it filled me with shame and made me very uncomfortable. Them being former nobility, there has to be large troubles and hardships as they face that I can't even imagine. A heavy sigh escaped from my mouth. But still, part of me that lurks deep inside my heart that wants to know everything I can about Arya will never go away.
ほんとつくづく嫌になる。
It really makes me sick. But at the same time, I don't want to just make assumptions about her. I wonder at what point does that desire she wants to get to know something go from healthy to super normal to deplorable? Whoa, that was loud. I picked up the perfume Arya gave me as if I was drawn to it. These moments, that scenery filled the moment that scene filled my nose, I was transported back to the time we spent together yesterday. I just want to know more.
なに？どうして謝るの？あら、私はこっちよ。顔を見て話して、いちこ。
Surely there has to be a lot of this kind of merch. Surely. My entire body was throbbing all the way down to my fingertips. Without our noses breathing up against each other like that, what if our lips too...
今の何？こんなんじゃまたいやらしいこと考えてるって。
Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised she's like this because, again, she grew up in an orphanage. She basically tried to do her daily jobs as much as she can in order to support the orphanage. And yeah, her life was rough. And she didn't have like emotional connections outside of her own family. Well, family as in those who are with her in the orphanage.
もうやめやめ。早く寝ないと。
Yeah, go get some sleep, girl. I feel like I'm going out of my mind because of everything that happened this week.
あ、寝る前に油絵の本読もうと思ってたのに。いや、今日はもういいや。今日はもう寝よう。
Enough. I've had enough for today. I'm going to get some sleep. I placed the back of my hand against my burning hot cheek. The persistent sound of my throbbing heart gradually began to calm down. I wonder if Miss Aria is already asleep. I want to see her face again. I hope tomorrow gets here fast.
Zanne. 今日はうまくいかなかったのね。
Hmm?
アリア様、皆様もう揃われました。
お父様は？
Where is Amane, actually?
下で新生児の母親と話を。
Newborn mother?
そう。
この絵、あの女中が？
宗介。
Oh, his name is Sosuke. Okay.
昨日何か勘違いさせたかしら。だったらはっきり言っておくわ。二度とお前から私に話しかけないで。
Wow. Damn. Okay.
前にもそう言ったはずよ。
申し訳ありません、アリア様。
Even though I was able to fall asleep after all that, I still woke up earlier than usual. It's been a while since... Oh, sorry. For the moment I woke up, my heart was still pounding. So, just like it was before. I went to sleep. It made me wonder how I was even able to sleep like that. There's no need for me to get all flustered. I can see Miss Arya every day, and after all, when I see her, I should just enjoy it to the fullest.
ダメだ。もう考えちゃダメ。ちゃんと落ち着こう。深呼吸をして。
If I'm going to work around art today, I need to make sure I get my cleaning done as quickly and efficiently as I can.
よし。今のうちに1階の掃除を。今の音、厨房から？スイかな？あれ、いちこだ。おはよう。スイ、おはよう。ちょっとだけ久しぶりだよね。ね、元気にしてた？
It's been many days since I last saw Sui. Over the past few days, she's been making food at their shop and bringing it over to the house. So, while I certainly first felt her presence here and there, we never ran into each other during those days, so sometime I ended up passing by without us crossing paths.
もしかしてパーティーの日が最後？
I think I saw you when the parties were wrapping up.
そうかも。あれって1週間くらい前だっけ？どうしてた？アリアさんとはうまくいってる？ああ、うん、それなりに。
It has only been a week, but feels like a month has passed. So much happened since that night. I want to tell her about it, but I just can't. I wanted to tell her about me trying to run away, about that room, about Miss Arya, everything. Before I realized it, I was bogged down with a lot of secrets.
それなりに？ちょっと歯切れが悪いけど、大丈夫？あ、いや、それはその変わらないよって意味。変わらずよくしてもらってる。スイは1週間どうしてた？最近ここでは調理してなかったよね。気づいてた？そうなんだよね。実はうち新しい店を出す予定なんだけど、それがもうめちゃくちゃ忙しくて。
Oh, they got the money rolling pretty well. Now they can open new shops. Good.
私もあっち行ったりこっち行ったりってずっと動き回ってるんだ。そう そうだったんだ。大変そう。体は平気？あまねさんには話してる？休みがいるなら私から何か伝えようか。
すごい勢い。最初なんだっけ？
もう私は真剣に聞いてるのに。
わかってるって。ありがとう。でも私は大丈夫だから。体も仕事も問題なし。むしろここに来るのは息抜きなんだよね。お屋敷にいる間は誰にも文句言われないし、こっそり庭を覗いてみたりとか。で、これは内緒ね。
うん。でも私も景色を眺めてぼーっとしちゃうからよくわかる。庭とか噴水とかそのあたりにいると外国に来た気分にならない？
そうそう、すっごく遠くに来た感じ。いるだけで気持ちよくって。あとね、いちこの部屋はどこだろうって探してみたり。
そうなの？どこだと思ってる？
階段を上がって左側、外から見て厨房側の窓のとこ。
Damn, that's a nice way of words there, Sui.
残念、違います。
It was wrong, but she still had the spirit.
嘘。どこ？
Might be a secret?
なんて言えばいいんだろう。その真逆？だいたい噴水から見上げたところって言えばいいのかな。
It feels like it's been quite a while, but it's only been a week since we've seen each other. And here we are talking like we are making up for lost time. I really do enjoy talking with Sui. I can feel my shoulders relax, and I just feel totally at ease.
そろそろ行かなきゃ。その前に、実はね、今日はなんだか会える気がして。いちこ用のお弁当を作ってきたんだ。
Ooh, that's very lovely.
まかないとは別にってこと？
小腹が空くこともあるかなと思って。それにお弁当を作るのって結構楽しいんだよね。
わあ、かわいい。人参が桜の形。
ネギは入ってないから安心して。
ありがとう。
Damn, I don't know. I mean, everybody's taste buds are different, but onions are always something that adds a little bit more flavor. Like the two veggies that usually could work and enhance like lots of food are both garlic and onions. Yeah, be it roasted, be it fried, be it steamed. Yeah, it'll definitely give a bit more kick when it comes to certain dishes. But yeah, it's understandable. Both cannot be, either or both cannot be for everyone.
毎日会いたいなって思ってたから、今日会えて嬉しかった。
私も。
なんか照れるね。じゃあまた。今日も一日頑張ろう。
お店おめでとう。
ありがとう。
so happy that she not only wants to see me every day, but she went out of her way to tell me that. She even made me my very own bento too.
小腹が空いたらって言ってたけど、せっかくだから先にこっちを食べちゃおっと。
I thought I'd eat this later when I'm hungry, but since I'm already here, I might as well just have it now. This is so good.
これ桜でんぶじゃない、焼き鮭だ。
Maybe it was because I had a nice casual conversation with Sui, but I felt quite refreshed. I have a full stomach now, and I can feel the motivation coming too.
時間も結構余裕があるし、あまねさんが降りてくるまで集中して掃除しよう。
Okay, let's check the sunroom. It's pretty dusty. I think I'll wipe things down with a wet cloth instead of sweeping.
これ誰の靴だろう。
Whose shoes are those? A pair of dirty shoes were hidden behind the open door. The gardener wasn't wearing anything like this, but they can't be his. Does that mean that they're Mr. Amane's? Maybe he wears those when he's out in the garden or something?
濡れちゃうと困るから廊下の方に避けておこう。
Now let's check the drawing room. Even though I see it every day, I never get tired of looking at the stained glass in the drawing room. Looks a little different depending on the weather. Huh. Is the floor wet? Is the roof leaking? No, it can't be. What's going on? First things first, I need to dry it off. Maybe go to the sunroom again? This isn't draining very well. I guess I need to clean out the drains too. Let's go to the breakfast room. I could smell Miss Aria's scent now. Oh wait, that's me. I put some on before bed last night. More of the kitchen. Might as well wash out the bento here while I'm at it. What's this? Looks like a piece of paper stuck underneath.
食べ過ぎ注意。水って。そんなの無理だよ。美味しすぎるもん。水、分かってて書いてるでしょ。
Oh, that's pretty cute. Let's go to the study. I'm sure Mr. Amane would never suspect me of something without good reason. But still, I wish he would just put it away somewhere. Is there anything else we can check? We'll check the breakfast room one more time. That sound came from the entranceway. I peered into the entranceway just in time to see the security guard's arm tossing a newspaper inside. It's the morning paper. Oh, whoa, the first front page article says that a temple in Kyoto caught fire and they suspect it was arson. Alright, let's go here again. Oh, well, there's nothing new. Okay. I think... yeah, that should be it for moving. I looked up the staircase as I cleaned the hall near the entranceway. It reminds me, I never seen those shoes that were in the sunroom before. Wonder where those have been all this time. That reminds me, I'd never seen those shoes that were in the sunroom before. I wonder where they've been all this time. Ah, I can hear stuff upstairs. Guess he'll be coming down any moment now. Things got pretty dirty, so I'll ask him if he wants me to do a deep cleaning. With that in mind, I kept my head up, and that's when I saw... Oh, it's a grumpy guy. My eyes widened as someone I never expected to see came walking down the stairs. Ah, he's not wearing shoes. Guess that means those shoes in the sunroom belong to. The gardener flashes me a dumbfounded glance, then walks right past me without uttering a single word. What in the world was he doing up there? No, he couldn't have done something to Miss Aria.
Ichiko-kun?
あまねさん、あの人が今上から降りてきて。
あの人？ああ、庭師の。宗介君は私が呼んだんだよ。
あまねさんが？
そう。これから庭をもっと華やかにしたくてね。いいアイディアが思い浮かんだから、忘れないうちにと思ってわざわざ来てもらったんだ。
こんな朝早くにですか？
思い立ったら即行動が私の信条でね。
なるほど。
Yeesh, I certainly didn't expect that. Wonder what time he asked him to come to his office. I guess Miss Aria gets her free-spirited personality from her father.
さて、もう朝食の準備はできているかな？
はい、すぐにお持ちします。
頼むよ。食事をしたらすぐにここを出て、午後3時にはお客様と戻る予定だ。
A guest?
アリアには2時までにおもてなしの準備をさせておいてくれるかな？
かしこまりました。
In that case, I wonder if she'll have enough time to get everything ready if I get her up at noon. Okay, just a little bit more, then I'll be able to see her. Using that as motivation, I worked hard throughout the rest of the morning. But as soon as I laid eyes on her, all of the anticipation and excitement I built up all morning was completely overshadowed by worry. Her face was more pale than usual. I wonder if she's not feeling well. Aria almost never asked me to style her hair. She sat there motionless, looking down at the floor while I ran a comb through her hair. I feel bad asking her over and over again. But
お嬢様、本当に平気ですか？やっぱり顔色がいつもとは違って見えて心配です。
そう？いちこがそこまで言うのなら、本当にどこかおかしいのかも。
Uh-oh.
体調はいつも通りなのだけれど、なんだか左腕にうまく力が入らなくて。
Her left arm?
左腕？少し触ってもいいですか？
ええ。
ここ押しますね。痛みますか？
いいえ。
She's having troubles moving it. Maybe she slept on it funny? No, that doesn't seem right. I pressed down on different spots from her shoulder all the way down to her hand, trying to figure out what was going on. I then started feeling around her right arm to see if there's anything different. That's when I noticed that the front of her left shoulder felt strangely bony by comparison. Wait, maybe she...
してる？
脱臼？
だとしたら大変。お医者さんを呼ばないと。
She must be in a lot of pain, not to mention how pale she is. Hope she hasn't been suffering in silence.
まずは天音さんに連絡を。
脱臼？確かにそうみたい。でもこれくらいなら平気よ。
そんな我慢しないでください。お嬢様は一度ベッドに戻って。
え？
ほら、これで元通り。
嘘。ダメですよ、自分で無理やりなんて。
大丈夫よ。見て、ちゃんと動くでしょ。
お嬢様、そんなに腕を動かしてまた抜けたらどうするんですか？
そうなったらまた元に戻せばいいじゃない。
If only it was this easy.
ダメですよ。脱臼は癖になるんですから。中学生の頃、同級生にそういう子がいたんです。天音さんだって休ませろって言うはずです。とにかく連絡をして先生に見てもらいましょう。今日の来客もお断りしないと。
いちこ心配してくれてありがとう。だけれど断る必要はないわ。痛みもないし、お客様の前にも出られる。
そんな。
いいえ、無茶なんかじゃないわ。だってほら、いちこのこともこうしてギュッて抱きしめられる。
No way. What's going on? Why is she suddenly...
お嬢様。
いちこから私の匂いがする。あの練り香水使ってくれているのね。
そんなこと言ってごまかさないでください。お医者さんが嫌なんですか？私本当に心配してるんですよ。
ええ、知ってるわ。だから安心させたいの。腕が痛むのなら、こんな風にはできない。わかる。
So, you're trying to tell me that you don't want to mess up your plans? Or, it's no use. When she looks up at me, staring down like that, my brain just stops functioning and I can't think straight.
はい。
邪魔するよ。
Oh, there he
お
is.
帰りなさい、お父様。
ただいま、アリア。もう準備は済んでいるかな？お客様が予定より早く事務所の方にいらしてね。もう応接室にお通ししてしまったのだけれど。
ええ、すぐに降りられるわ。
お嬢様。
ん？何か問題でも？
いいえ、何も。
何もって。
いちこ、今日はまだ絵に手をつけていないんでしょ？夕食までしばらく集中するといいわ。
ああ。何かあればあかりに頼む。お客様が帰ったかどうかも気にする必要はないよ。それじゃ行こうか、アリア。
また夜にね、いちこ。
お嬢様。
I'm really worried about her. Maybe she just doesn't want her father to worry about her, but I just get the feeling that she's being coaxed into this. Even though it's just pure speculation, once I got myself riled up about it, I had a really hard time coming back down from it. I got dizzy thinking about how she touched my cheek as she held me, and how soft her hair felt as I traced my finger through it.
私って、もしかしてものすごく単純？
Not to mention, there's no way that Miss Aria doesn't know.
はあ、これじゃ女中失格だ。お嬢様のためにもちゃんとしないと。
いい雰囲気だ。二人がうまくやれているようでほっとしたよ。
ええ、まるで姉妹みたいでしょ？
それはどうかな。姉妹にしてはいささか容姿が違いすぎる。
そうかしら。確かに身長差はあるけれど。
まあ、アリアが可愛がっているのなら、それに越したことはないけれどね。彼女も君をとても大事に思っているようだし、この様子ならそろそろ話してもいいんじゃないかな。今でも助けられてはいるけれど、任せられるなら他の仕事も。
まだ早いわ。
おや、そうかい？
Iwakura Lane Iwakura? Old anime. I think I'm dating myself. No, it's a little bit different. This is a very different game. Or rather, this is a different franchise. But hello, Shin Raven. How you doing? Yeah, this is the third stream we're playing this. So if you want to catch up with how the story's been going, you can check the first 2 streams for it. Oh, it's been going well. It's been going well. Getting very ominous in this household, to say the least. I hope you're doing well, though. Okay.
わかったよ。アリアがそう言うなら、まだ待とう。
Mm-hmm. What kind of story is it? Well, it's... I would say... It's kind of... I wouldn't say it's full-blown horror yet, but it is a bit mysterious. And it has a bit of, like, potentially morbid things. So yeah, I wouldn't call it like a horror game. At least not yet.
Aria-san.
Oh, there's Akari.
さて、それじゃ入ろうか。
ええ。でも、今日は少し疲れているの。
Okay.
だから早く終わらせるわ。構わない？
ああ、もちろんだよ。すべてはアリアのお気に召すままに。
Do we actually see what happens? Well, I guess not. The weather has really felt appropriate for the summer season ever since the rainy season ended. The sounds of the cicadas, whose existence totally escaped my mind, could be heard loud and clear. It is a reminder that while this house may certainly feel otherworldly, we are in fact in Japan. For whatever reason, it usually feels pretty cool inside the house, but today it feels pretty hot. Peeking at the newspaper Amane left behind, I noticed that it said there's multiple days this week where the temperature would climb above 30 degrees. Miss Aria doesn't seem to be fazed by the heat. Maybe because her normal body temperature is a bit low? I've been checking on her shoulder every day since then, but I think she started to get annoyed with me doing it after a few days, so now today she's in a sour, sulky mood. I think it's only natural to be worried after witnessing that. But in actuality, it didn't seem like she was all that upset about it. She was encouraging me to go to paint, so she came with me to the guest room and was now spending time with me in there reading a book. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if I could paint well with oils, but now I'm getting the hang of it a little bit at a time. I decided to cover all the paintings I wasn't happy with white, and then start over once the paint dried. At that point, anything I had sketched out underneath was barely visible, but that ended up really working in my favor. The brush moves around so swiftly and freely. Maybe the sketch was too detailed? Starting to feel like it was holding me back. It's really fun when you can paint with the exact touch you want. I think there was a guide of painting textures. That was on the last page I read before going to bed. But now, I think I sort of understand what it was trying to say. Besides, I have a dahlia right in front of me. When painting for the first time, it really is best to look at the real thing while you do it.
また写生帳にスケッチするの？
はい、カンバスを持ってくるのは大変なので。
だったら花を持っていけばいいじゃん。
綺麗な花を切ってしまうのはちょっと。
あら、私がバラをあげた時もそんな風に思っていたの？
それとは話が違うじゃないですか。
It's not what we're talking about here.
そうなの？
そうです。
まあいいわ。抵抗があるのなら私が代わりにしてあげる。放っておいたってこの子たちはそろそろ切り捨てられるわ。それなら一輪でも部屋に飾った方がいいと思わない？
切り捨てられる？そうなんですか？
ダリアはね、一度開花して終わる花じゃないの。なんて言ったかしら。名前は忘れてしまったけれど、咲いた花をわざと切り取るの。そうすると脇芽からまた別の花が咲く。 そうやって半年近く次々に開花して庭を華やかにしてくれる。それがダリアよ。
こんな立派な花が何度も咲くんですか？すごい。綺麗なだけじゃなくてかっこいい花なんですね。
かっこいい。ええ、確かにそうかもしれない。
私、花の手入れの方法なんか全く知らなくて、他にもそういう花ってあるんでしょうか？
ええ、少なくはないみたい。でもその話をちゃんと聞いたのはダリアだけ。
え？
母の好きな花だったの。ここに越してきてすぐに植えてもらったお気に入り。
それでお母様に教えてもらったんですね。
Mm-hmm.
ええ。
Oh, there he is again.
びっくりした。なんでいつも急に。
これ
え？
切り戻しの分必要な。
おお、ありがとうございます。
Was he lurking nearby, listening to our conversation? He brusquely handed me a single dahlia, then left the area without saying another word to either of us. What in the world is with this guy? He can be both terrifying and kind. It's like you never know which side you'll get. Miss Arya said she doesn't know anything about him besides his name, so I guess Mr. Amane must have had some connection with him. It does seem like he cares about Miss Arya, though.
なに？もう完成したの？
いえ、全然。
そう。つまらないわね。
Aw.
すみません。
Gotta go fast. Speed it up. She's holding quite a large book. Looks like it's about woodblock prints.
お嬢様、無理しないでくださいね。体のこともありますし、部屋でゆっくりしていても。
またその話？結局お父様にも聞いたくせに。
She's right. Amane made it crystal clear to me that even when Arya saw a doctor, they never saw any improvement in her health or overall physical condition.
無理なんかしてない。私がここにいたいの。カンバスに向き合うイチコの熱をそばで感じるのが好き。それに油絵の匂いも好きよ。いい匂いではないのになぜだか妙に惹かれてしまう。
それ、私もわかります。なんででしょうね。嫌な匂いといえばそうなのに。
チコ？どうしてかしら？
Arya returned to her book with a relaxed smile on her face. Looks like she really isn't pushing herself too much. I don't want to burden her by worrying too much. I need to be careful not to be too pushy. I turned back to face my canvas, and something dawned on me. At some point, the silence we were sharing suddenly became rather comfortable. I was not alone, because the room was filled with Arya's presence. All of the tension and heart-pounding worry I had just melted away. I wish I could stay like this forever. The cicadas were chirping outside. Shadows of the swaying lace curtain were cast on the floor, and a gentle breeze softly swept against my hand as I held my paintbrush. It was such a gentle summer day. I felt so at peace from sunrise to sundown. Or at least, I did until I finally started to drift off to sleep. It's so hot. Oh, well, I guess she doesn't have any fans or air conditioning. I woke up because it was so hot and humid in my room. Then, that's when I noticed my forehead was drenched with sweat. I wonder what time it is. Maybe after 1 o'clock? I guess I should go wash my face. I'll grab a wet towel to cool down my neck, too. With my plan set, I get out of bed and rub my very sleepy eyes. Why is it bright in here? I turned to look at the window, and the brilliant moonlight was shining brightly against the window. I wonder if it's a full moon tonight. I slowly walked over to the window as if the moonlight was calling out to me. However, I stuck my head out the window, and in that moment noticed that the moon was nowhere to be seen. Yeah, that is odd. There was a soft light emanating near the mountain, and I could make out someone moving around. Who's that? What are they doing over there? I could barely think straight since I had just woken up. Still, I kept my eye on them best as I could, and slowly but surely their vague outline began to take shape. What is she doing up late? From what I could see, that was definitely Arya. She slightly lifted up her dress with both hands and began walking straight towards the fountain. She's barefoot? Why? What could she be doing at a time like this? As I looked down towards her, dumbfounded with what I was witnessing, she stepped into the water without even the slightest bit of hesitation. Then she suddenly turned around and looked up to the heavens. It's almost like she was bathing there as she basked in the moonlight. What is going on? Am I dreaming? It was such an unbelievable sight, so it's only natural to be captivated by it. A sketchbook. I snatched it from the top of my dresser and feverishly began drawing the spectacle that was playing out before my eyes. It's so strangely beautiful. Maybe it's beautiful because it's strange? What is she doing? Why is she doing this? My mind was absolutely full of questions, but getting this drawing finished was more important than any of that right now. I mean, it was just so beautiful. It'd be such a waste to only have this scene available in my memories. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, you did it pretty quick too. Yes, this is real. Yeah, what is she doing? Oh. It happened the moment I turned my gaze back towards the fountain. Arya climbed out of the water and fell into her knees, looking completely exhausted. I ran out of my room as fast as I could. Uh-oh. I called out to her as I got closer to the fountain, but she didn't budge. Could she have lost her consciousness? I jumped into the water and lifted up Arya, who was still sitting on her knees. Her thin legs could barely hold her up. Her cold, wet dress was clinging heavily to her skin. I mean, you could go to the bathroom and just take a dip in the bath, not in the fountain? That is a very strange thing to do, especially this late at night. Oh dear.
Arya-sama! Arya-sama, いかがされましたか?
ちょっと、今までどこにいたんですか? またタバコでも吸ってたんでしょ?
なんだお前偉そうに?
偉そうも何も気づくのが遅すぎます。何のための終焉なんだか。そんなちょっと笑わないでください。私真剣なんですから。
ごめんなさい。つい。ねえ、私は平気だから。あなたはもう持ち場に戻って。
そんな、私はまだ。
いいの。言って。ありがとう。
アリア様、承知いたしました。では失礼いたします。
もう。
仕方ないわ。彼だって四六時中屋敷全体を見ているなんてできないもの。でもイチコの気持ちはよくわかった。心配をかけてごめんなさい。寝ているイチコを起こしたくなかったの。
だからって、今後は遠慮しないで起こしてくださいね。寝ている間にお嬢様に何かあったらと思うと眠れませんから。
イチコ。でも毎日ドキドキして眠れないのも刺激的で楽しいかも。
お嬢様。
冗談よ。怒らないで。
別に怒ってはいませんけど。
嘘。今のも冗談。怒っているイチコも魅力的だから、ずっとそのままで構わないわ。
She just likes teasing Ichiko a lot. But yeah, this is strange behavior. Yeah, we're still getting they're still getting more questions than answers. Well, I know we still have quite a bit more to go, but yeah, it just keeps getting even more mysterious.
構わないって、ずっと怒ってるなんて無理ですよ。そもそも怒ってもないですし。ああ、もう。そうですよ、怒ってます。だってお嬢様本当にふざけてばっかり。
そうよね。本当に悪い癖だわ。反省しなくっちゃ。
She's serious about reflecting? I don't believe her. Not even a tiny bit.
イチコ、拗ねていないでこっちを向いて。前髪がおかしなところに張り付いてるわ。
そんなのどうだっていいです。
ダメよ。私が直してあげる。
Oh. Cutscene. Special, or rather special art.
まさか飛び込んでくるなんて思わなかった。
She flashed a smile as she looked at me.
イチコがいる夏は楽しいわ。
That's so not fair. Seeing her looking so happy like that. I could just... The moon that was shining its brilliant light only on her just a moment ago was now illuminating the both of us. However, before I could truly appreciate the moment, the smile vanished from my face in an instant. Huh? Why? Suddenly feeling uneasy, I looked up. Then when I saw Aria looking down at me with a listless expression on her face.
イチコが目を合わせてくれなくなった時、もう出て行ってしまうんだと思った。きっとそのつもりだった。
I guess she doesn't know that it was more than an intention and that I actually tried to leave. Not that I could ever tell her that, though.
まさか。
嘘ね。
Oh.
嘘じゃないです。
I'm sure my eyes must be moving all over the place. Aria puffed her cheeks a little and looked at me with that sulky expression. She's so cute. I could feel my chest getting tighter. That was exactly the kind of lie that would get Arya to respond like this, with exaggerated expressions. I don't care anymore, even if she leads me along or creates a huge stir. As long as I can be with her and get to see all different sides of her, then I don't care about anything else.
お嬢様、
なに？
楽しいのはきっと夏だけじゃありませんよ。私のいる秋にもぜひ期待してください。
いちこ、それはどうかしら。
え？
あなた、秋までいるつもりなの？
あ、ひどい。悪い人。冬も春もずっといますよ。お嬢様に追い出されない限りは。
あら、そうなのね。知らなかったわ。
She grinned at me with this mischievous look, almost like she was getting payback. Every time we moved around, the ripples on the water glistened in the moonlight. Eventually, we got out of the water into the warm, dry ground. Hmm.
アリアさん、イチコのことをすごく信頼してるんだね。
It was a peaceful day just before noon. We were enjoying some sweet, crisp watermelon. Watermelon. Watermelon, always great during summer. Yeah, especially I mean, you can either drink it as a juice or have it chilled. Sui stared at me with this look of admiration on her face as I told her about everything that happened last night.
前にいた女中さん、駒田さんだったっけ？たまに話すこともあったけど、そんな話一度も聞かなかったもん。きっと相手がイチコだから安心してちょっとおかしな素顔も見せられるんだよ。おかしなは余計か。
Sui laughed uncomfortably as she said that, but I couldn't help but laugh along with her. I guess it's hard to see it as anything but a strange incident when you hear the facts laid out like that. But there was something I still haven't told Sui. It was about that time we spent laughing together under the moonlight. Even her ill-tempered side is incredibly cute and charming. My heart was pounding. I wanted to tell her all about it and share my excitement. Just thinking about it makes my heart melt like a piece of chocolate left out in the sun. But when I felt ready to say it, I hesitated.
昨日は私が偶然気づいただけだから信頼はあんまり関係ないかもしれないけどね。怪我もさせちゃったし申し訳なくて。ああ、膝？そう。明るいところで見たら肌が少しえぐれてて。痛そう。噴水って石でできてるよね。砂利だってあるだろうし。
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
膝のお皿が割れなくてよかったね。
Yeah, she could potentially do that.
そんなの想像したら。
We both shivered in unison as we looked at each other with grimacing expressions.
スイカ。おかわり？ああ、じゃあ。塩かける？お願いします。
She handed the watermelon with the grimace lingering on her face.
そういえば、油絵の調子はどう？うまくいってる？やっとうまくいき始めたところかな。完成まではまだ時間がかかりそう。そっか。ねえ、
完成したら見せてくれるよね。
見たい？
もちろん見たいに決まってるじゃん。写生帳の方は最近何か書いたりした？
前にどこまで見せたっけ？
I pulled out my sketchbook and started flipping through the pages. Ooh, that's quite a bit. That's when I noticed after flipping through the sketches I've seen many times over. The sketch of Arya bathed in the moonlight suddenly appeared. Okay. Let me do a little bit of a stretch, right? So we can keep on going. Yeah, let me do a little bit of a stretch and, yeah. We'll continue after this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's keep going. Now, always remember, if you feel like having a bit of a stretch, go get some water, go stand up for a bit and do a couple of, stretches, exercises, quick exercises. It also helps quite a bit. My heart made a huge, loud thump. It really was stunning. Like a dream. I didn't have the wherewithal to draw this. I might have convinced myself that it was really a dream. I'm so glad I drew this. I don't know if I can show it off, though. This strange feeling began to well up inside me. Like this was something that was both embarrassing and something I should keep to myself.
これは気に入ってるかも。油絵のモチーフを見つけるために庭で描いた絵。
わあ、これって庭の奥の方？
うん。
へえ、こんな場所があるんだ。綺麗な花。いいね。夏の雰囲気があって。
I get so embarrassed when people stare at my art, but still, I'm happy. Sui's face is totally lit up.
ねえ 今日はもう出なきゃダメ？
そんなことないけど、なんで？
もし時間をくれるなら推を書いてみたいなって。
Oh, that'd be nice.
私、ダメ。私じゃ絵にならないもん。
なんで？書けば誰でも絵になるよ。
いや、そういう意味じゃなくて。
ダメ？スイカを食べてる推書いてみたいな。
Yeah, that was a bit of a wordplay there.
それってダジャレ？まあ、嫌ってわけじゃないけど、本当に私なんかでいいの？
Yeah, she literally mentions dajare, which is basically translated to wordplay. They did not translate this into English, but it would be a bit weird, right? Because in English, suika is watermelon, so you can't have like wordplay with sui and the English word of watermelon.
もちろん推がいいの。
そう？だったら、どうぞ。
やった。じゃあ早速。
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of how sometimes some things can't be like properly translated 100% because it works better in the original language compared to how it is in different languages. I'm pretty sure it's the same with stuff that is in English that could be translated into other languages. So yeah, it could be pretty much a challenge for translators in order to translate to multiple languages. So yeah, I've got to give props to them. Like trying to keep it consistent with how the story is. Wow, that actually looks cute. Sui totally froze before taking her bite of watermelon. She nervously looked around the room.
スイカ食べて大丈夫だよ。
いいの？本当に？
I mean, it's just you two. Just eat the watermelon.
もう仕方ないでしょ。モデルなんて初めてなんだから。
できた。協力してくれてありがとう。
見てもいい？
もちろん。
これ今描いたんだよね。嘘みたい。私が本当に絵になってる。嬉しい。いちこ、可愛く描いてくれてありがとう。
I've only ever copied stuff like movie posters up until recently. I had no idea that it was this fun to draw people.
モデルが魅力的だからかな。
I stopped cleaning for a moment to flip through their pages. I really have Ari and Sui in my sketchbook.
ダリアの絵をちゃんと完成させられたら、油絵でも二人のことを描いてみたいな。
I was just standing there muttering to myself. I heard a noise coming from the first floor, so I peeked down the stairs. Oh, it's Miss Yoshino. Is she carrying drinks? Looks like their guest is still here, even though he came earlier this afternoon. I wanted to clean the downstairs windows, but I guess I won't be able to today. I should focus on cleaning upstairs for now. Oh, okay, that's a little bit different. Let's check Arya's room. Oh, this is the book that Miss Arya was reading the other day. The latest in high fashion, when I was a virgin. Wow, interesting name there. Who's the author? Oh, Lady Byakuren? I think she's that famous poet, isn't she? What was her name? Yanagihara Byakuren? It's a picture book. The use of colors, the illustrations, it's also stylish. There's even songs and poems for various holidays in here, like Girls' Day, Tanabata, and more.
クリスマスも言葉から冬の空気を感じてワクワクする。こんな夏らしい日に不思議な気分。
I wonder if Miss Aria felt the same thing when she was reading it. As I randomly flipped through the pages, many vague ideas started popping up in my mind. Oh, it's a photo. A photo titled Iris Bath that was slipped in between the pages caught my eye.
この女の子、ひょっとしてお嬢様？
Hmm? Why is her hair color a bit different? Even though she was just an innocent young child, she looked so refined. The woman next to her, who I'm assuming is her mother, had the same kind of beautiful, narrow eyes as Arya. She was so cute, but her hair looks kind of white. I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if some people's hair color changes as they get older. I wouldn't say that you start from white to black. It's usually the opposite. All right, let's go to Amane's room. Let's see what other suspicious things we can find here. I need a chair. Now I have to take off my shoes. I really should clean up these high up, hard to reach areas more often. Wow. They even have areas that are hard to see properly decorated. Much to my surprise though, it isn't very dusty.
これぐらいなら畑で軽く。
That's when something suddenly caught my eye. I noticed a framed postcard that stopped me in my tracks. It was of a dark and gloomy oil painting. It had this strange aura that took my breath away. Is that an angel? I'm not sure if it was a girl or a boy depicted there, but they're being carried on a gurney, blindfolded, with blood dripping down their back from where the wings had grown out. What's with this piece? Feels like I'm witnessing Miss Aria having an awful experience, and my heart aches just looking at it. Well, that was strange. Let's check the bathroom. Looks like there's another huge car parked in the driveway again today. Ah, that's the phone ringing. Should I go and try to find Mr. Amane? No way. That'll take way too long. I guess I'll just have to answer instead. Hold on a second. Don't hang up.
はい、もしもし。
おみきさん、どうもご無沙汰してます。毛利弁護士事務所のものですが。
Law firm? Why did they ask for someone named Omuki?
失礼ですが、うちにおみきというものはおりません。おそらくおかけ間違いでは。
Wait, those papers on the desk must be...
ああ、でしたら。
はい、では失礼します。
え。
危なかった。崩れてバラバラになっちゃうかと。
Ugh, I feel so rude cutting them off like that. They're the ones who dialed the wrong number. Whatever, it's fine. Let's check Ichiko's room. I feel like the smell of tatami mats gets stronger at night. Probably because the heat is trapped. Check the guest room. What's this paper? Someone drew a... Wait, is this a dahlia? Did Miss Aria draw this?
そっか。お嬢様って絵はあんまり得意じゃ。ダメ、笑うなんて最低。とにかくこれは見なかったことにしよう。
We'll just give her the, like, you tried. Okay, can we actually go back here again and see if we can find something? I've never seen art quite like this in my entire life. I felt like my foot bumped into something, so I peered down to check it out.
イヤリング？あまねさんのじゃないよね。吉野さんのこの、とりあえず机の上に置いておこう。
Okay, let's go to Arya's room again. I'm so curious about what Miss Aria was like a child. Are there any other photos lying around? Even though I know that it's not okay to just go through other people's belongings without their permission, I didn't help myself and started flipping through various books. Nothing. Maybe there's some in these drawers? Never seen them use these before, but... it won't open. Maybe it's locked. What could possibly be in there? This has me more curious than the photos. Well, I guess there's nothing else. Alright, I guess we should stop moving. Just want to keep working. But then I remembered the photo I saw in Arya's room, and now I can't stop thinking about it. Why was her hair like that? Was it because of some illness? How old was she in that photo? I also can't help but wonder when her mother passed away. I hate myself so much when I just stand around making assumptions about things that are so deeply personal for someone. But, despite all that, my curiosity only continued to intensify. Maybe it'd be better to just ask her instead of prying into these things in secret.
だけど、急に踏み込んだことを聞いて嫌われたら。
Just throw it in the middle of a conversation, you know. You're talking about food, you're talking about dinner, and then you mentioned, hey, why was your hair white when you were a kid? And what was your mother like? And when did your mother pass away? Feeling totally disgusted with myself for being so impudent, yet so cowardly, I let out a long, deep sigh. Saddled with guilt, I took a peek down the stairs. You could hear a pin drop down there, so it seems like the guests still haven't come out yet. Can't keep doing this. I need to distract myself, otherwise my mind is going to run wild. In that moment, I decided to return to the guest room to continue painting. That's when I remembered the painting I saw earlier. The one of the angel that made me think of Arya. When I think of how she looked when she was little, it makes it all feel even more similar. I wonder whose painting that is. Maybe it's in one of those art books around here.
もしかしたら、あのポストカードの裏に作品名が書いてあるかも。
quietly made my way back to Amane's room and grabbed the frame with a postcard in it. A boy carrying the angels looking right at me. Honestly, it's a rather unsettling gaze. Looking over the postcard once again, I suddenly got this strange feeling as I placed my fingernail onto the clasp on the back of the frame. At the very least, I hope it has the artist's name. What's this? When I opened up the frame, something I never could have seen coming suddenly jumped out at me.
アマネさんとお嬢様
She still has that white hair. It looks like a photo of them had been taken at a photo studio. Aria appears to be a little bit older in this one than she was in the other photo.
この時もまだ髪の色が明るい
Yeah, exactly. Her beautiful light-colored eyes seem like they haven't really changed much.
アマネさんはちょっと雰囲気が違うあ、そっか義眼になる前だから瞳の色が暗いんだでもなんだろうそれだけじゃない気がするわかったほくろが
なるほど。そうでしたか。
Uh-oh. I could hear voices coming from downstairs as people left the room. Then my heart skipped a beat when I heard Amane's voice.
ぜひ庭もご覧ください。
アリアさん、今日傘をお持ちします。必要ないわ。もう日も落ちているから。ありがとう。
Was like something was caught in my throat. My hands were trembling as I quickly put the photo back where I found it. Something's weird. Something's not right. A creepy, disturbing feeling weighed heavily on my heart. I waited for a bit until I could hear all of the voices fade off into the distance, then raced back to my room as fast as I could.
ほくろ
Flipping through my sketchbook, I found the drawing I made of Arya with that sweet, gentle look on her face. Just as I thought, I drew her with a small mole on her neck. I hadn't thought about it too much until now, but there was something that, I imagine Arya and Amane, appeared as clear as day in my mind.
あの写真のアマネさんにはなかった
Maybe that just means the mole he has now just naturally appeared at some point after that.
それとも書いてるじゃなかったら入れ墨とか
Why would you even tattoo a mole? That's a very weird thing to tattoo. But sure. But if that's the case, why would you do something like that? Going that far to just have the same feature as your daughter? I mean, that's just totally...
親子に見せかけているみたい義眼の色までお嬢様と同じ色にして
Wait. Does that mean that they're not related? Prosthetic eye? Those words made me stop dead in my tracks. And suddenly, a massive chill went down my spine.
何なの
He told me all about his prosthetic left eye. In my sketchbook, I even colored the eye the same way I did Arya's. However, in that photo, both of his eyes had the same dark color. That's the eye he lost in the war. Well, it might be. It's on the way to be. Standing next to Arya, it was very clear that their eyes were different colors. She's younger in this photo than she is now. So many of her beautiful features had already begun to mature. She was still pretty small. I'd say she was around 10 years old in this photo.
だとしたら、今から6年前、1960年。
1960, okay. But the war ended in 1945.
お嬢様も私も、まだ生まれてさえいない年。
Ah, so it's very clear that Amane is lying.
あまねさんが義眼になる前の写真なら、その年か、それより前に撮られているはずなのに、どうして私と同い年のお嬢様が一緒に写ってるの？
I was overwhelmed by a strange feeling and started to feel sick to my stomach. Is something wrong with me? Am I misunderstanding something? Did I mishear something? It was frightening that everything I saw with my own eyes and drew in my sketchbook now suddenly felt like a work of fiction. A work of fiction within a work of fiction. How very meta. But I know that's not the case. I remember all of it. How warm it was that day, the sun beaming, the scent in the air, the moment Miss Arya and I's noses almost touched. Everything.
ダリア、お母様のお気に入りの花。
Come to think of it, there were dahlias in that photo too. I was so distracted that I didn't even realize it until now, but I was taken to the exact same place as this painting. Of all the places I could have chosen, the flower beds were filled with big, vibrant dahlias in full bloom. Next to them was...
あの写真に写ってた。
Maybe it's time to check the shelter out, huh? The next day, please don't be awake yet. Hoping this would be the case, I spoke to her in as a gentle tone as I could. I'm sorry, Miss Arya. I agonized over whether I should just see how things play out, or just be upfront and ask them about everything. After sleeping on it, I came to the conclusion that I would do neither of those things, and instead do what I could to get closer to the truth. Asking them about it could lead to big trouble. Not to mention, they'll certainly ask me about what I already know. For now, I just want to check that photo again. Whatever I find will determine my next course of action. Oh, there it is. Yep, this was the book. So glad it was still here. It should still be in between the pages. Aha! Just as I thought. There is no shelter in this photo. But if it was there, you'd definitely be able to see it from this angle. That means this photo was taken sometime before the war. Before the year 1945. But what are they lying to me about? Is Miss Arya actually much older? Something off about this photo? Why would they lie to me like this? Everything about this place, things I once treated as undeniable facts, were unraveling before my very eyes. It's like I was being dragged back to where I was before I came here. I couldn't trust anything at this point. As I put my brush to the paper, I could see the watercolors spread throughout my mind. so scared. An inexplicable, anxiety-ridden wave of emotions crashed into my heart.
お嬢様。
When you go around digging up other people's secrets, it's only a matter of time until something like this happens. It's all so pathetic. But still, I felt the sudden, strong urge to touch something real. With that, I walked over Arya, who was still sound asleep. Her sleeping face was enchanting. She was right here, as real as can be. The mole on her neck. Are they just masquerading as a family? Or are they trying to fool? Maybe they're con artists. However, none of the realistic answers I could come up with were the least bit convincing. She's perfect. Too perfect. In fact, standing in front of her like this, there is no way I could accept that.
起きてください、お嬢様。
Her doll-like face and body, her skin as cold as a corpse, her divine visage bathed in the moonlight.
なんで？
Her tiny, pure white knees peeking out of the comforter looked as smooth as ever, without a single bruise or blemish. Huh? Wait, didn't she fall down when she was walking to the fountain? But now it's healed? Despite the fact that only a day before she slammed her knees into the rough ground. How is this possible? The girl lying before me, Aria Iwakura, is a monster. She's not human. At this point, that is the most believable reality.
お嬢様。
You know, my theory of her being a vampire might as well be a thing, right? I have a good feeling that she might be a vampire, because if that photo was taken around the 40s and she didn't seem like she'd aged that much, then something feels off. Something feels very off. And she has like quick regeneration abilities. Yeah. And the fact that her skin was burning in the sun. Yeah, I think she's a vampire. Even though she was right there here in front of me. True, she ages slowly or doesn't age at all and might have some kind of healing factor. Yeah, I have a good feeling that, and she's very sickly as well. Yeah, she could be. We'll see though. Even though she was right in front of me, I began to feel like she would disappear in the blink of an eye. I got scared, and without thinking, I grasped her hand. Miss Aria, you...
もう朝。おはよう、いちこ。
What in the world are you? Arya felt hungry pretty soon after she woke up, so she had some toast. She spread some butter and took a bite. It seems like that single bite was enough to satisfy her.
なので足りるはずない。
There's no way that's enough. I knew it was really strange. But once I saw her as non-human in that moment, and see her as anything else. But there's no way I could ever say that to her face. Yeah, and here's another thing. She doesn't eat normal food. She doesn't eat that much normal food. Like right now, she just ate one bite of buttered toast. That is not a breakfast. That is not enough for a breakfast. Surely she has another way in getting sustenance. If I were to seriously talk about this with someone, they would probably think I'm insane. For now, I just need to act like I always do. But I was worried, because despite my best efforts, I always end up wearing my emotions on my sleeve. I should keep as much distance as I can from them until I can calm down.
できるかな?
I don't think you can. Thankfully, it seemed like they had company
と
today.
りあえず今は忙しくしておこう。それが一番気が紛れる。
But for how long, Ichiko? One whole bite of buttered toast? That could feed an entire village! Well, if it's a big, massive toast, right? A massive, like, I don't know, 100-kilometer sized toast. Yeah, that would probably feed a village. Alright, let's check the drawing room though. If everyone nibbles just one crumb and not too fast. Damn, alright. That's... You're saying that this is not a village of humans, but a village of rats. Right? Or a village of hamsters. Yeah, hamsters would nibble on like a tiny chunk of bread easily. There were some baked goods and a teapot on the table. It seemed like Akari finished all the guest preparations early. The tablecloth is beautifully laid out, so I probably shouldn't fill it with anything. Hamsters are gluttonous bastards, filling their cheeks, but they're cute though. So are gerbils. They're very cute. And they're fluffy, they're small, very pattable. Problem is, like, they cause like a lot of mess. That's why you gotta keep them in the cages. Not denying they're cute. I mean, yeah. With that, I started to leave the room. And that's when I noticed a container placed in the middle of the table that I'd never seen before. I wanted an African pygmy hedgehog as a pet more. Ooh. That's an interesting type of hedgehog. What a strange shape. Maybe it's a sugar cube pot? I guess not. There's little bottles in here. I casually picked up one of the 2 bottles. What's in here? Seashells? That does not look like seashells. Oh God. Is that nail clippings? There's a million videos of domesticated ones. Oh, I should actually check that.
いや、違う。これは。
At first glance, I thought it was broken seashells. But taking a closer look, I realized it was human nail clippings. Yeah, as I thought. Yeah, I was thinking nail clippings. Yeah, it does look like nail clippings. But why is it in a bottle? What's in the other bottle? It's red. Is this blood? The bottle is filled to the brim with it. What? A bottle of nail clippings and a bottle of blood? Excited for Silent Hill F? I'm curious about it. I don't know if I'll play it, but I do know that Ryukishi07, aka the man behind Higurashi and Umineko, is the one writing the story, so it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be very disturbing, and I think he fits well with the Silent Hill. Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I don't know if I'll play it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. What's going on? I have goosebumps everywhere. Why in the world would they put something like this on the table? I broke out into a cold sweat, completely unable to comprehend the situation before me. Absolutely adore the series, yeah. I think Silent Hill F is a nice, different take from the usual Silent Hill games, right? I mean, even like going for a completely different setting, because you know most Silent Hill games are done in Western locales, but F is taking place in Japan. So that's a nice different kind of place. Yeah, it's in the 1960s. Yeah. Interestingly enough, this game is also taking place in the 1960s in Japan as well. Really makes you think. Silent Hill was more modern Western. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but it's a nice change of pace, honestly. Did Miss Yoshino set all of this up? Maybe it's not just Mr. Arya and Mr. Amane that have something off about them. I wonder, I'm interested in how this will play out. Yeah. Let's go to the storeroom. Miss Arya, this is awful. As soon as I relax even for a little bit, all I start is thinking about her. What am I going to go to the dining room and can find something? There's something on the table. As I entered the dining room, I immediately noticed a strange package that wasn't there this morning. It's heavy. Wonder what's in it. Not even thinking about what could have been inside, I untied the string that was loosely keeping the package closed. I then unrolled the cloth and then that the contents were wrapped up in, and... A package of kitchen knives? Oh! Oh, there she is. Ah, Sui left them here, huh? I guess she came while I was upstairs. I didn't even notice. Yoshino really spooked me there. I'll put these knives in the kitchen so Sui doesn't forget to grab them later. Okay, let's go to the kitchen though. I want to relax a bit, so I think I'll make some barley tea. I can use one of those tea bags I got from Sui. What about the sunroom? Seems that the gardener isn't here today. Guess we don't have anywhere else to go, so yeah, stop moving. Damn. A jar full of nail clippings and blood. God, this is definitely something. I tried to distract myself with work, but I just got even more uneasy. I remember the bottles filled with blood and nails. Doesn't matter if Arya is a human being or not. But there's definitely something going on in this house besides that. I just don't know what it is yet. I was certain that nothing good would come from finding out what it could be. Even a fool like me is smart enough to understand that. It's okay. I can still turn back. Could still think like that up until a few hours ago anyway. It was 3:30 in the afternoon. 30 minutes had passed since today's guests showed up, and I found myself standing next to the drawing room's window. Up until now, I didn't pay even the slightest mind as to what they were always doing in there. But after all my recent discoveries, that's where I ended up. I know the peeping is terrible, but at this point, I'm desperate. I don't care what happens anymore. I just can't help but want to know. I don't care what I end up learning. I just want to know everything. It's kind of scary how easy it is to admit your own stupidity and depravity once you start thinking this way. Are they talking? I can hear voices, but I can't make out what they're saying. I moved even closer to the window and then looked sideways from the window frame. The sun's really strong today. I have to be careful so I don't cast a shadow into the room. I took a peek inside through a gap in the lace curtains. Everyone in the room was sitting down, seemingly having a nice conversation. It felt like a scene from a perfectly normal afternoon. Miss Aria has a stack of sugar cubes in front of her. I guess they're having coffee. Next to that is absolutely nothing. What happened to the container with the bottles in it? Did you give it to the guest already? Should have come right away instead of waiting around. At this point, there's no reason to be looking in there. I let out a deep sigh and started moving away from the window. At that moment, I noticed someone standing up in the room. Oh? Are they leaving already? I took a closer look and could see the back of a man in a suit. He slowly approached Aria, then kneeled down before her. What is this guy doing? Just as I began to think something was amiss, the man grabbed Aria's dress and pulled it over her knees. Huh? He wrapped his massive hands around her exposed white calves. His hands were so big, it looked like he could snap her leg in half with one hand. Then, the man brought his face up to her left leg. He pressed his face against it like a dog, persistently rubbing his cheeks. What the absolute hell? After that, the tips of their noses touched, and then their lips. Oh, God. That's when Aria... She didn't say a word, only stared at the man's face. What? Holding my breath, I backed away from the window and sprinted to the kitchen back door as fast as I could. When I finally opened my mouth, I could barely breathe. Even just standing there, I felt like I was drowning. Oh, hi, Chio. How you doing? Well, wait, you're up late. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. You are just in time in seeing our main character, Ichigo, having a potential mental breakdown. Wow, nice timing. What did I just witness? I was supposed to sleep. Well, okay. Should I actually tell you what happened in the game so I wouldn't let you sleep? Oh, you know, it's just something about this weird mansion, about bottles of blood and nail clippings and weird guests trying to, I don't know, be weird against like a girl. I'll sit and watch until I eat. Okay. Sure, I'd appreciate it. It's gonna be weird out of context because this is like the third stream I actually play this, but yeah, it's interesting and creepy. Very creepy. What was that man doing to her? Speaking of which, your newest Discord member DM'd me and saying hi and stuff. Should I be worried? Oh my god. That's a bot. That's a bot, Chio. Thank you for telling me. All right. Bam. Yeah, get out of here. Get banned. Yeah. We got rid of them. No, you shouldn't be worried. That's a bot. That's a bot. If randomly DMing people, that's a bot. Man, there are too many of these that show up on Discord. I hate this. I hate this. If only there's a way to, like, not allow them to be on Discord. I was answering this. No, Chio! Chio, don't fall for them. Chio, they're bots. They're scammers. Don't fall for them. If they never contacted you before, if they never talked to you before, and they just joined the server, then they're scammers. They're bots. They're art scammers. They're in the trees. ISO 2024. No. Don't get fooled by them, Chio. They're scammers. They say, hi, I am an artist. Oh well, I was waiting for the punchline. I see. So you're already ready for them. You don't need to do. No, I can't answer them anymore. Honestly, I can't tell who's a scammer or not. Oh, well, you don't need the punchline. You can just punch them by banning them or ignoring them. I can't tell who's a scammer or not. Here's the thing, though, Rayquaza. If they just randomly DM you and you don't know them, you can trust me. I'm not a scammer. I don't know, Shin Raven. You might be a regular, but maybe one day your account might be hacked and you might be a scammer. Who knows? Who knows? The internet can be strange sometimes. But yeah, it's just bad. I don't think they even show up in chat. Yeah, they didn't even show up in chat. Yeah, they just saw the Discord link and then they joined, and then they randomly picked a person and they said hi, and then they expect a response and say, okay, hello there, and they say, hi, I'm an artist. I do 2D, 3D, VRC, and I'm wondering if I could get a commission because I want to pay for my goldfish's food. Yes, I can't afford feeding my goldfish. Please, let me show you my work. Or then there's this other request who's saying, like, I'm a professional and I'm gonna show you I'll show you something. I'm gonna show you something, and I want to show you a game. I'm making a game. Yeah, it's a cool game. You need to click on this link and download it, because it totally doesn't have viruses. It totally doesn't have anything that will steal your account. No. Yay, I'm chosen. Yeah, I have a person on this, unless you want to do it for free. Do it for exposure. I see you, Chio. So you want people to commission stuff for you, and you pay them by exposure. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to pull off, Chio. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, someone actually asked me to play their game. Yeah, their game that has malware. All right, that was an interesting tangent, but yeah, we do need to like take a break from Ichiko's breakdown. I didn't know what I thought I was going to see when I looked in there, but I definitely witnessed something I could have never imagined. It was even more raw and more depressing than I thought it could be. Hey, I paid a good amount of local commissions. I know you would. I know you would. We always got to support the real artists, because without them, we got nothing, right? No model. We got no model. We got no layout. We got no intro. We got no outro. We got no cool stuff, cool graphic design stuff from legitimate artists. These are the ones you need to support. Always. Just say no. No, Shinraven, I am not going to even mention those 2 letters. No. Even if it's to get rid of them. Because here's the thing, Shinraven. They primarily use AI. Number 1, they either steal from other people or they use AI. It's one of those two. And it's just repulsive. It's disgusting. That's why you shouldn't give them the time of day, ever. I can't believe Miss Aria would allow this to happen. Mr. Amane is right there next to them. Wait, oh yeah, Amane was there too. What the hell? Why is her father letting weird people fondle her unless they're not actually family? Because it is kind of hinted that they might not be family. No, thank you. I have AI for my art? No, I can draw stickman of myself, thank you. Yeah, even drawing stickmen on paint has more like dignity. Not family? Yeah. So here's the thing, a little bit of a recap, Chio. So this story is about Ichiko, a maid who has just been hired right now to serve the Iwakura family, and that's led by Amane, who's the dad, and Aria, who's the daughter. Aria has been very sickly. She has this cold, like cold skin and very, very like weak stature. But there are some strange things that we've been figuring out right now. Like there are bottles of blood and nails. There is these weird guests who come in and do weird things to Aria. And then there's this whole photos that we managed to find of Aria having completely different hair compared to how she was now, and how it was taken before the war. Weird things? Yeah, very weird things. Very weird things. Like this right now, you saw like what the guest is doing to Aria right now. He's fondling her legs and like trying to kiss her at the lips. And her dad, quote unquote, maybe not her dad, is watching it happen. The image of the drawing room with the man in the suit and Aria looking down at him were forever seared into my mind, like a mental photograph. My arms were hot from the sunburn. The unobstructed sunlight was beating down on me. I peered in from the side of the window frame to avoid casting a shadow into the room. The sunlight was shining into the room in various spots, though. In fact, next to Aria, there was a shadow? Huh? It was a semicircle with a rather impressive curve. That stylish window, the one I've seen countless times since I came into the residence, was the thing casting the shadow. Is that Is that a summon? Is that a summoning circle? What? The mental image I so desperately wanted to forget, now even more vivid than before. My hand trembled as I held the pencil. I began to draw the window, as if I both wanted to leave behind some kind of evidence, confirm my suspicions at the same time. Wait a minute. I know this shape. Sweat was dripping from my forehead down to my temples. Even though it was scorching hot outside, this was a cold sweat. There was something they definitely don't want me to know about here. I just needed to pursue this a little more.
あの窓だけじゃない。
The fountain sleeping angel I drew on the first page of my sketchbook. The mantle in the dining room.
やっぱり。
Looking over my sketchbook, I noticed that the windows with this exact same design were scattered all around the residence.
もしかしたら皿の模様にもあったかも。でももっとはっきりとどこかで見た。
Was hiding in plain sight amongst the scenery I took in every day. Maybe I saw it when I was admiring the incredible ceilings?
違う。あれは。
As I recalled everywhere I've been in the house, I suddenly felt like I was kicked in the head.
あの隠し部屋だ。あの隠し部屋の壁にあった。
Oh, it's the hidden room. The door to the drawing room was still closed. It didn't seem like Amane's secretary, Akari, was in the drawing room or the study. Now's my only chance. I wanted to be as quiet as possible, so I took my shoes off. Then, I made my way up the stairs in my bare feet. The hidden room is between Miss Aria's room and Mr. Amane's room.
お嬢様の部屋からも入れるのかな。二人の部屋、どちらに行こう。
We'll try Amane's room. Yes. I should head to Mr. Amane's room for now. I want to check that symbol for myself. I only saw inside there for a moment, but I remember it clearly. It was on the wall in that room. Even if I saw the mark in there, it's not like I would understand what it meant. Still, I won't be satisfied until I can see it for myself. This Arya's a monster? The guests are perverts? What kind of freak show is this place anyway? That window was the thing casting a shadow into the drawing room. That horrible room has the same symbol in it. Are they doing these things in here too? Is Mr. Amane doing something to her? The scene I witnessed earlier flooded my mind once again. I felt sick to my stomach and placed my hand against the mirror. I looked and saw my face, all red and flushed, with my lips looking palish and white. I look awful.
ひどい顔だ。
Oh!
天音さん。
Uh-oh. Our eyes meet in the mirror as he suddenly appeared behind me. His blank, unsmiling face took my breath away.
私の代わりにドアを開けてくれるのかな？
いえ、私。
ああ、なんだい。すまないが急いでいるんだ。邪魔をする意図がないのなら下がってくれ。
はい、申し訳ありません。
Amane let out an exasperated sigh and just went into the hidden room as if I wasn't there. I barely had time to stand there dumbfounded before he came out of the room with a small box in his hand.
天音さん、ごめんなさい。掃除中に見つけたんです。入る気はなくて、たださっき応接室で。
My mind was going totally blank, so I did everything I could to come up with some excuse. But his piercing, cold stare left me unable to continue talking.
あれこれ詮索するのは構わない。
Wow. Okay?
日中、屋敷を丸ごと預けているんだ。気になることがあれば、いくらでも嗅ぎ回ればいいさ。
Huh?
ただね、私が耐えられないのは、その卑しさのにじみ出た所作だ。一人、隠された場所を覗き見ようとする品のない姿。すまないが、今すぐ出て行ってくれ。アリアの言う通りだった。やはり、この屋敷に女中はもう必要ない。
そんな。ごめんなさい。二度としません。何度でも謝ります。ですから。
残念だ。
待ってください。お願いです、アマレさん。待ってよ。
Well, damn. I remember the summer of 1966. The ruinous summer began in that lavish mansion, inside that room surrounded by gaudy decor. I haven't been able to trust anyone since then. That look of contempt from the head of the household, who has always been so warm and kind to me. The ridicule from the adults when I came back from the orphanage. The cold stares from the children there. I had returned to the residence only once before autumn came. I thought that she would surely be waiting for me. But instead, she was laughing happily with a beautiful stranger. I'd been completely forgotten about. To get payback for all the frustration and shame they put me through, I reported everything that happened there to the police. When they laughed in my face, it was in that moment that I realized I would never be able to return to the glamorous world like the one in that house. That world was something I never once had a real connection with, because I foolishly corrected the mistake that was known as good fortune. 33 years have passed, and even now at the age of 49, I'm still that miserable, lowly person who never had a chance of fitting in here. Damn. If she's even on our luck more, good fortune is just the beginning of misfortune. I was going to have to live like this. I would have been better off if I never crawled out of it. I tried to rise above it all once, and because of that, I was smacked back down to earth. I had the rug pulled out from under me. There was no doubt in my mind that my miserable fate was sealed that summer in that house. That's why... Oh no! I'm going to end my miserable life tonight in the same place it began. Oh God. Even now, I sometimes think that if my parents were around, I could have blamed them for everything. But that, too, will end today.
懐かしい。触らないでくださいだって。住んでた場所が美術館に。
Damn, this got dark.
面白い。
I went to all the rooms I still clearly remembered and thoroughly soaked them in oil. Oh shoot, she's gonna burn the whole house down.
なるほど。やっぱり君は芸術家だね。君には才能がある。あの時買った絵も私は大切に会社に飾っているんだよ。
私 当に絵が上手だった。ここでたくさん絵を描けばきっと画家になれたのに。
By the way,
素晴らしいアーティストになれたのに。
this is just one of the endings that the game has. Apparently, this game has multiple endings, so this potentially might be one of them.
でも賑やかでいいかも。いいか。
I'm so tired. I was never able to live the way I wanted, so I thought I might as well die the way I wanted. It was a beautiful sight, just like I saw it in my dream. I created the scene I wanted to see. I will die as an artist. Damn. I'm sure someone will follow the trail and find me among the charred remains within a few days' time. I left behind my cheap apartment in Nagano that housed the little studio filled with my artwork. Doesn't matter who, just somehow. Please, someone, find me and remember me forever.
Hey, おう、白田、調子どう？
いやー、きついっす。焼き鳥見たの初めてで吐きそうになりました。
昇進覚悟の放火なんていらねえ根性出しやがって。身元わかりゃいいけどな。いや
ー、どうなんすかね。ちょっと無理じゃないっすか。
Damn, that's a depressing way to go out. Ending. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Okay. Okay, so a clear list. There we go. What do we have here? Ah, so we have the endings. Damn, we still have quite a lot. Very, very interesting. So we're not quite done with this game yet. And so, you know this isn't the true ending when we don't get the credits, right? So yeah, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get the other endings. And we'll do that next time. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching tonight, either live or via the archives. Tomorrow, we'll be playing some Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. We're going to punch some more with Willness. Yes, more fire punching, more being belligerent with his very good specials and very good normals. I'm excited for that. But before we go, let me see if I can send you guys somewhere on the Twitch side of things. Let me see. Who can I send you guys to? Is there anyone playing visual novels? Just give me a second here. Let me go find someone new. Okay, we can send you guys over to Cuddleby. They're having they're checking out some Pokemans. That's pretty cool. Pokemans is cool. Let's see if we can get the raid right. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Hope you all have a great night, evening, or afternoon, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.